For many people with a family history of diabetes, they worry about the diabetes tests used to diagnose the disease. There are several, including a diabetes risk test, but they are pretty simple to have done. Some of the tests do require you to not eat anything and drink only water, but that is a small sacrifice for the knowledge these tests provide. Probably the most familiar of the diabetes tests is the fasting plasma glucose test, also called the fasting blood glucose test. This test is performed after a person has fasted for at least 8 hours. Many people find it easiest to schedule this test for first thing in the morning, as it's easier to resist or delay breakfast than to skip eating all day. A morning test is also preferred by doctors because it gives more accurate readings than tests done later in the day. This is due to people drinking sugary drinks during the day, such as soda or sweet tea, even though they have this test. It throws the test results off. This is also one of the pre-diabetes tests. A more accurate test is the oral glucose tolerance test. This test is less familiar to some people, even though it is used to test women for gestational diabetes. This test is slightly more complicated than the fasting blood glucose test. You do still have to fast for at least 8 hours prior to this test, but in this case, your blood is taken twice. Once when you first come in for the test, then again 2 hours after you have finished the glucose drink. Many people compare the glucose drink to a super sweet orange soda, but your experience may differ. This test is the second of the pre-diabetes tests. The third test used to diagnose diabetes is a random plasma glucose test. There is no fasting involved with this test, as it is looking for the different levels of a person's blood sugar. This test can be performed immediately upon doctor request. This test may be used to narrow down the diagnosis prior to one of the fasting glucose tests. This test only determines the presence of diabetes, not prediabetes. Learn more at diabetes-tests.net.